Today, we're diving into the nitty-gritty of understanding basic principles of negotiation. First off, let's grasp what negotiation is all about. It's essentially a dialogue where both parties aim to reach an agreement that satisfies their needs and interests. Think of it like a dance, where each step brings you closer to your goal. The first principle we'll talk about is the importance of preparation. You know how they say fail to plan, plan to fail. It applies here too. Before stepping into any negotiation, make sure you've done your homework, understand what's at stake, who you're dealing with, and what their needs might be. Another key principle is communication. This involves not just speaking but also listening. You need to articulate your own goals clearly while paying attention to the other party's words for clues about their priorities and concerns. Remember, negotiation isn't a monologue. It's a conversation where both sides have something valuable to say. Next up, let's talk about the concept of compromise. In any negotiation, you're likely going to need to give something up in order to reach an agreement that works for everyone involved. This doesn't mean losing out on your goals entirely, but rather finding common ground and making adjustments where necessary. Lastly, don't forget the power of empathy in negotiations. Empathy helps build trust and understanding, which can lead to better agreements. It means putting yourself in the other person's shoes and seeing things from their perspective. So there you have it. Preparation, communication, compromise, and empathy are the pillars that support successful negotiation. By focusing on these principles, you'll be well equipped to handle any deal-making situation with confidence and skill. That wraps up our introduction to basic negotiation principles for today. Let's dive into why preparation is key for successful negotiations. Think of negotiation as a game where you need to be ready before stepping onto the field. Just like athletes practice their moves or coaches strategize their plays, in negotiation, preparation sets you up for success. First things first, know your goals inside and out. What are you aiming for? What's non-negotiable? Setting clear objectives helps keep you focused during talks and makes it easier to make decisions on the fly. Next, gather all relevant information about the other party involved. Understand their needs, motivations, and any constraints they might have. This knowledge can be your ace in the hole when making concessions or finding creative solutions. Now, let's talk about planning your negotiation strategy. Think about different scenarios that could unfold during talks. What if they ask for more than you're willing to give? Or what if they counteroffer with something unexpectedly generous? Having a plan B, C, and even D can save you from feeling cornered or rushed into decisions. Another important aspect is practicing your negotiation skills beforehand. Rehearse key phrases and responses until they feel natural. This helps reduce anxiety and makes you appear more confident during the actual negotiation. Remember to also practice active listening techniques so you don't miss any important details that could shift the dynamics of the conversation. Lastly, consider the logistics of the negotiation itself. If it's a face-to-face meeting, choose a location that puts you at ease or gives you an advantage. For virtual negotiations, ensure your technology works smoothly and consider factors like time zones and internet connectivity to avoid any hiccups. So there you have it. Knowing your goals, researching thoroughly, planning ahead, practicing communication skills, and managing logistics all play crucial roles in preparing for a successful negotiation. By taking these steps, you'll walk into the room with confidence and be better equipped to achieve favorable outcomes. That's all for this session on preparation for negotiations. Today, we're diving into the world of active listening techniques, which are essential for effective communication. Think about how many times you've been in conversations where your mind wandered off to other things, right? Well, with these techniques, you can stay focused and truly connect with others. So let's break this down step by step. First up is maintaining eye contact. When someone is speaking to you, look them in the eye and show genuine interest. It not only makes them feel valued, but also helps you stay engaged. Next, we have nodding or using other nonverbal cues like smiling or tilting your head to show that you're listening actively. Another key technique is paraphrasing. When someone finishes speaking, try summarizing what they said in your own words to ensure understanding and clarity. This shows the speaker that you've been paying attention and helps avoid misunderstandings. Then there's asking open-ended questions. These encourage deeper conversation because instead of just a yes or no answer, people have to think more about their response. It keeps the dialogue flowing naturally and makes the other person feel heard. Finally, let's talk about reflecting emotions. This involves acknowledging how someone feels during the conversation. For example, if they sound frustrated, you might say something like, "I understand why that would make you feel upset." It shows empathy and helps build rapport. So there you have it: eye contact, nonverbal cues, paraphrasing, open-ended questions, and reflecting emotions are all powerful tools for active listening. By incorporating these techniques into your daily interactions, you'll become a more effective listener and communicator overall. Today, we're diving into the world of assertive speaking strategies, something that can really boost your confidence and effectiveness in any conversation. Assertiveness isn't about being aggressive or pushy, it's more about expressing yourself clearly while respecting others. Let's break this down step by step. First off, let's talk about setting clear boundaries. It's important to know what you're willing to accept and not accept in a situation. For example, if someone is late for a meeting, you might say, "I understand that sometimes things come up, but I value our time together and would appreciate it if we could both be on time moving forward." Next, using I statements can really help keep the focus on your thoughts and feelings rather than placing blame on others. For instance, instead of saying you're always late, you might say, "I feel disappointed when meetings start later than scheduled." This shifts the tone from accusatory to understanding. Another key strategy is practicing active listening. When you listen attentively, it shows respect for the other person's views and helps prevent misunderstandings. Nodding or giving verbal affirmations like "I see" or "that makes sense" can help acknowledge their points while also encouraging them to continue sharing their thoughts. Lastly, don't forget about the power of pausing before responding. Taking a moment to gather your thoughts can make your responses more thoughtful and less reactive. It shows that you're considering what was said rather than just reacting quickly. So there you have it, setting clear boundaries, using I statements, active listening, and strategic pauses. These strategies will help you communicate assertively while maintaining respect and understanding in any conversation. Today, we're going to dive into something really important for any negotiation: empathy. You see, empathy isn't just about being nice. It's actually a powerful tool that can help you achieve better outcomes in your negotiations. So let's start by understanding what empathy is. Empathy involves putting yourself in another person's shoes and seeing things from their perspective. It means recognizing and acknowledging the emotions of others as they experience them. Now, why does this matter so much in negotiation? Well, when you empathize with someone, you're more likely to build a connection that goes beyond just exchanging words or offers. This bond can lead to trust, which is crucial for successful negotiations because it encourages openness and honesty from both sides. Imagine being able to understand the other person's needs and desires so deeply that you can craft solutions they're excited about. Let's take an example. Say you're negotiating a high-ticket deal with someone who values long-term relationships more than short-term profits. By empathizing, you might focus on building that relationship first instead of just closing the deal quickly. This could mean spending extra time understanding their business and goals. It's all about aligning your approach to fit what matters most to them. Empathy also helps in handling conflicts or disagreements smoothly. When you show empathy during tough talks, it can diffuse tension and make room for compromise. For instance, if the other party feels frustrated because they think you're not listening, showing genuine concern for their viewpoint can soothe those feelings and open up dialogue again. But here's a key tip. Don't just pretend to care. Genuinely try to understand where they are coming from. This means really listening and asking questions that help uncover what's important to them. It might be as simple as saying, "So you're concerned about the timeline because of upcoming deadlines?" Or, "I hear that this feature is crucial for your team's success." Now let's not forget the nitty-gritty details like body language and tone of voice. Empathy here means being aware of how these elements can influence perception. For example, maintaining eye contact and nodding while listening shows engagement and respect. To wrap it up, empathy isn't just a soft skill in negotiation. It's a powerful tool that helps you understand others better, build trust faster, and create win-win solutions more easily. So next time you're about to negotiate, take a moment to think about how the other person is feeling and what's important to them. It might just change the game for you. That's all for today's lesson on empathy in negotiation. Today, we're going to talk about creating a positive atmosphere during talks. You know how sometimes you walk into a meeting feeling energized and excited, but other times it feels like everyone is dragging their feet? Well, there's a reason for that. And today, we'll uncover some secrets to make those meetings more uplifting and engaging. First off, start by setting the tone early. When you enter the room, greet everyone warmly with smiles and eye contact. This simple act can instantly lift spirits. Then, open the meeting with an encouraging statement or perhaps a quick icebreaker question that gets people chatting. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, just something that shows you're excited about what's coming next. Next, make sure your environment is conducive to positive vibes. Have comfortable seating and decent lighting. Consider playing some soft music in the background if it fits with your group dynamics. The physical space should feel inviting and relaxed, not stuffy or formal unless that's appropriate for your context. Now, let's talk about language. Use positive words and phrases throughout the discussion. Instead of saying we need to fix this problem, say let's explore opportunities to improve. It's a subtle shift, but can make all the difference in how people perceive challenges versus opportunities. Another key aspect is active listening. When someone speaks, really listen to what they're saying. Show you're engaged through nodding and eye contact. This makes others feel valued and respected, which contributes greatly to a positive atmosphere. Additionally, acknowledge contributions and achievements regularly throughout your talks. A quick thank you or mentioning how someone's input is valuable goes a long way. It creates an environment where everyone feels appreciated and motivated to participate more fully. Lastly, don't forget about humor. A well-timed joke or lighthearted comment can break tension and keep the mood upbeat. Just make sure your jokes are appropriate for the setting and inclusive of all attendees. In conclusion, creating a positive atmosphere during talks isn't rocket science, but does require intentional effort. Start with warm greetings, maintain an inviting environment, use encouraging language, practice active listening, acknowledge contributions, and sprinkle in some humor when you can. By doing these things, your meetings will become more engaging and productive for everyone involved. Thank you for joining me today to learn about making talks positive and uplifting experiences. Today, we're diving into an important aspect of effective communication, distinguishing between interests and positions. Imagine you're negotiating for something high-ticket, maybe even your dream job or that perfect apartment. It's easy to get caught up in what each party wants their position. But understanding the underlying reasons why they want it can open doors to better solutions. Let's start with an example. Say two friends are arguing about what movie to watch tonight. One friend insists on watching a thriller, while the other prefers a romantic comedy. At first glance, you might think there's no way both parties will be happy. But their positions preferring one genre over another don't tell us why they made those choices. To uncover interests, we need to ask questions and listen carefully. The friend who likes thrillers might actually enjoy the excitement and suspense. It's not just about the genre itself, but the feeling of being on edge that they crave. For the romantic comedy lover, perhaps it's about escaping into a lighthearted world for a little while or enjoying a fun story. So instead of focusing solely on positions, what movies each friend wants to watch, we could explore their interests and find common ground. Maybe there's a movie that has both elements they enjoy. Or perhaps choosing based on the director who can deliver thrilling moments in a romantic context. This approach, distinguishing between interests and positions, applies not just to movie night, but to all kinds of negotiations, from workplace disputes to international diplomacy. It's about digging beneath surface-level demands to understand underlying needs. In practice, it involves active listening, empathy, and asking open-ended questions. By doing this, we can uncover shared values or alternative ways to meet everyone's needs. For example, if two departments are competing for limited resources, understanding that one wants those resources to improve customer satisfaction, while the other aims to boost employee morale, could lead them to collaborate on a project benefiting both goals. Remember, interests aren't always obvious and may require some probing questions to uncover. So next time you're in a negotiation or conflict resolution situation, try asking why something matters to the other person rather than just what they want. In conclusion, distinguishing between interests and positions can lead to more creative solutions and better relationships. By focusing on underlying needs instead of surface-level demands, we open up possibilities for mutually beneficial outcomes. Today, we're diving into techniques for exploring underlying interests. Let's start by understanding that our interests aren't always obvious on the surface. Sometimes we need to dig deeper to uncover passions we didn't know we had. First off, let's talk about self-reflection. Take some time each day to think about what activities make you feel excited or fulfilled. Ask yourself questions like, what do I enjoy doing in my free time? When was the last time I felt truly engaged and motivated? Another technique is trying new things. Sign up for a class, attend a workshop, or explore a hobby you've always wanted to try but never got around to it. Exposure to different activities can help you discover hidden interests. Next, consider your skills and strengths. Sometimes we're passionate about areas where we excel naturally. Take stock of what you do well and think about how those skills could be applied in various contexts. Also, pay attention to conversations with friends or colleagues. They might mention topics or ideas that spark enthusiasm in you. These moments can be clues pointing towards underlying interests. Don't forget about reading and learning about different subjects. Dive into books, articles, podcasts, or videos on a wide range of topics. The more you learn, the better equipped you'll be to identify your true passions. Lastly, reflect on your childhood memories. Think back to those early experiences that brought you joy and satisfaction. These could provide valuable insights into what really matters to you. By using these techniques, you can uncover underlying interests that might have been hiding beneath the surface all along. Remember, it's okay if your interests change over time too. Stay open-minded and keep exploring new areas. So there you have it, a few simple yet effective ways to explore underlying interests. So today, we're diving into crafting win-win proposals, something that's crucial for building strong relationships and achieving successful outcomes in any negotiation or collaboration. The key here is to think about what both parties want, understand their needs deeply, then design a proposal that addresses those wants and needs while creating value for everyone involved. First off, start by doing your homework. Research the other party, thoroughly know their background, goals, challenges, and how they've approached similar situations before. This groundwork gives you insight into what matters most to them and helps tailor your proposal accordingly. It's all about understanding the nitty-gritty details that make up their unique situation. Next, consider both sides equally. Don't just focus on what you want from the deal, think about how the other party can benefit too. Look for areas where your goals align or overlap. When you frame it as a mutual advantage, rather than one side gaining at the expense of the other, you're more likely to reach an agreement that satisfies everyone. Then, present your proposal in a way that highlights these shared benefits clearly and persuasively. Use specific examples and data to back up why this arrangement works for both parties. Make it easy for them to see how they'll gain from saying yes. Visual aids like charts or infographics can be really helpful here if you're dealing with complex information. Lastly, be prepared to adjust your proposal based on feedback during negotiations. Flexibility is key. Listen closely to what the other party is saying and use that input to refine your offer until both sides are satisfied. Remember, This isn't just about getting them to agree. It's also about making sure they feel heard and valued throughout the process. So, in summary, to craft a win-win proposal, start with solid research, think about mutual benefits, present clearly with supporting evidence, and stay flexible during negotiations. By taking these steps, you'll be better equipped to reach agreements that please everyone involved. Okay, so let's dive right into how you can make your proposal presentation really shine. First off, it's all about understanding your audience. Know who they are, what they care about, their needs, wants, and pain points. That way, you're speaking directly to them in a language they understand. Now, structure is key here. Start with an attention-grabbing opening, something relevant and engaging, maybe a story or a question to hook them right from the start. Then break down your proposal into clear sections: introduction, background, problem statement, solution, benefits, and conclusion. Each section should flow logically into the next. When presenting, remember to be conversational yet confident. Use simple language. Avoid jargon unless you know they'll understand it. Make eye contact with your audience, smile, use gestures naturally. All these help connect with them on a personal level. Visual aids are crucial too. Slides should be clean and uncluttered. Highlight key points, but don't overwhelm them with text. Use visuals like charts or videos to illustrate complex ideas. At the heart of every good presentation is storytelling. Weave your proposal into a compelling narrative that resonates emotionally as well intellectually. Share real-life examples, case studies, testimonials, anything that makes it relatable and tangible for your audience. Don't forget to anticipate questions and prepare answers in advance. Showing you've thought through all angles will build trust and credibility with your listeners. Lastly, always end on a strong note. Summarize the key points and benefits of your proposal, reinforce why they should choose your solution, and thank them for their time. Follow up with next steps or additional information if needed. So there you have it: engaging opening, clear structure, conversational tone, impactful visuals, compelling storytelling, prepared answers to questions, strong closing, all the elements that make a great proposal presentation. Let's dive into dealing with common negotiation obstacles today, because every negotiator faces them at some point. First off, let's talk about the high-ticket item that often causes tension: value perception. It's all about understanding what matters to both sides and finding ways to align those values. When you can speak to the needs of your counterpart, it becomes easier to reach a win-win agreement. Next up is the issue of time pressure. Often, negotiations are rushed, making it hard to fully explore options or build rapport with the other party. To tackle this, set clear timelines and be upfront about deadlines from the start. This way, you both know what's expected and can plan accordingly without feeling rushed. Another common obstacle is emotion. It's easy for feelings to run high during negotiations, especially when there are strong disagreements. The key here is to stay calm and professional. Acknowledge emotions, but focus on facts and interests rather than getting bogged down in emotional exchanges. Miscommunication is another biggie. To avoid this, make sure you're listening actively and confirming your understanding with the other party regularly. Use clear language and ask for feedback or clarifications when needed. This will help prevent misunderstandings that could derail negotiations. Lastly, let's not forget about power imbalance. When one side has let's dive into dealing with common negotiation obstacles today, because every negotiator faces them at some point. First off, let's talk about the high-ticket item that often causes tension: value perception. It's all about understanding what matters to both sides and finding ways to align those values. When you can speak to the needs of your counterpart, it becomes easier to reach a win-win agreement. Next up is the issue of time pressure. Often, negotiations are rushed, making it hard to fully explore options or build rapport with the other party. To tackle this, set clear timelines and be upfront about deadlines from the start. This way, you both know what's expected and can plan accordingly without feeling rushed. Another common obstacle is emotion. It's easy for feelings to run high during negotiations, especially when there are strong disagreements. The key here is to stay calm and professional. Acknowledge emotions, but focus on facts and interests rather than getting bogged down in emotional exchanges. Miscommunication is another biggie. To avoid this, make sure you're listening actively and confirming your understanding with the other party regularly. Use clear language and ask for feedback or clarifications when needed. This will help prevent misunderstandings that could derail negotiations. Lastly, let's not forget about power imbalance. When one side has more leverage than the other, it can feel like an uphill battle to reach a fair agreement. To address this, focus on building relationships and trust with your counterpart. Look for areas where you both can collaborate and find common ground despite the imbalance. In conclusion, by addressing these obstacles head-on, you're better equipped to handle any negotiation challenges that come your way. Remember, preparation and flexibility are key. So next time you're in a negotiation, keep these tips in mind and watch how smoothly things go. Let's dive right into overcoming objections without compromising. When you're selling something high-ticket, it's inevitable that potential customers will have questions and concerns. The key is to listen carefully to their objections and address them thoughtfully without giving up on your goals. First things first, acknowledge the objection. Don't dismiss what they say or get defensive. Instead, validate their concern by saying something like, "I understand why you might feel that way." This shows empathy and builds trust. Next, provide a clear solution to their specific issue. Use evidence-based facts and real-life examples if possible. For instance, if someone's worried about the cost of a high-ticket item, you could say, "While it is true that this product has a higher upfront cost, let me show you how it saves money in the long run." Remember, it's all about positioning your solution as an investment rather than just another expense. Highlight any additional benefits or features that might not be immediately obvious. Lastly, don't forget to follow up and see if they have any further questions or concerns. This shows commitment and ensures you've addressed everything thoroughly. By handling objections head-on with confidence and care, you'll build stronger relationships and close more deals without compromising your vision or product value. Today, we're diving into the world of closing strong agreements, something that's crucial for any deal to stick. First off, let's talk about mutual understanding. It's all about making sure both parties are on the same page regarding what they're agreeing to. This means clarifying terms and expectations upfront so there's no confusion later on. Next up is summarizing key points. At the end of your discussion, it helps immensely if you can recap everything that was agreed upon. Doing this ensures everyone remembers the important details and feels confident about moving forward. Then we have the formal signing process. Once all parties are clear on what they're agreeing to, it's time to put pen to paper or digital signature to screen. This step adds a layer of professionalism and makes sure everything is officially documented. Another key element is follow-up communication. After the agreement has been signed, touch base with your counterpart regularly to ensure things are going smoothly according to plan. It shows you're committed to the success of the deal. Lastly, don't forget about expressing appreciation. A simple thank you can go a long way in building strong relationships and ensuring future collaborations. So remember, mutual understanding, summarizing key points, formal signing process, follow-up communication, and showing gratitude are all critical elements for closing a strong agreement. That's it for today's lesson on closing agreements. I hope these tips will help you seal the deal with confidence. Today, we're diving deep into how to ensure mutual commitment to agreements reached, an essential skill for any team leader or project manager. So let's start by understanding why this is important. When everyone involved feels committed to an agreement, you build trust and strengthen relationships, which leads to better collaboration and more successful outcomes. To achieve this mutual commitment, the first step is clear communication. Make sure every participant understands what they're agreeing to and why it matters. This means being transparent about expectations and goals, making it easier for everyone to align their efforts towards a common purpose. Next up, we need to involve all stakeholders in the decision-making process. When people are part of creating an agreement, they feel more invested in its success. So whether you're planning meetings or brainstorming sessions, make sure there's room for input from all key players. This inclusive approach fosters buy-in and commitment. Another crucial element is recognizing the value each person brings to the table. By acknowledging individual strengths and contributions, you show appreciation, which motivates team members to commit fully to their roles. So don't hesitate to praise good work or celebrate milestones together. It's also important to establish accountability. This means setting clear deadlines and tracking progress regularly. When everyone knows what's expected of them and sees how their work fits into the bigger picture, they're more likely to stay committed throughout the project. Lastly, be prepared to adapt as needed. Circumstances can change, so maintaining flexibility shows that you value the team's collective success over rigid adherence to initial plans. Regular check-ins help identify issues early and adjust strategies if necessary. In conclusion, ensuring mutual commitment involves clear communication, inclusive decision-making, recognizing individual contributions, establishing accountability, and being flexible when needed. By following these steps, you can build strong agreements that everyone is committed to achieving together. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through mastering negotiation skills for leadership success. Over the past weeks, we've covered everything from understanding basic principles and preparation to active listening techniques and assertive speaking strategies. We explored how empathy plays a crucial role in building rapport and establishing trust during negotiations. Additionally, we delved into identifying interests versus positions and learned valuable techniques for exploring these underlying interests. We also focused on crafting win-win proposals and presenting them effectively. Handling objections and rejections was another key topic, where we discussed methods to overcome obstacles without compromising. Finally, we looked at closing the deal successfully by ensuring key elements are in place for a strong agreement closure and making sure there's mutual commitment to the agreements reached. Remember, the most important takeaways from this course are to always be prepared, listen actively, speak assertively, empathize with others, distinguish between interests and positions, create win-win proposals, handle objections effectively, and close deals confidently. Applying these skills will undoubtedly enhance your negotiation abilities and help you achieve leadership success. I hope that by now, you feel more confident in your negotiation skills and are excited to put them into practice. As you move forward, keep these strategies in mind and continue to refine your approach through experience. I wish you all the best as you embark on new negotiations and aim for even greater achievements in your career. If you would like to stay connected or share your thoughts about this course, please don't hesitate to reach out. Leaving a review would also be greatly appreciated as it helps others find this valuable information. Thank you once again for taking part in this enriching experience.